The Bremen town musicians. There was once a donkey who'd served his master well for many long years, but now he was getting tired and too old for work. "You're not much use to me now, old-timer. I'll have to get rid of you soon, I will." The old donkey didn't like the sound of that at all. So one day, when the farmer left the gate open, he trotted out onto the road and kept on going. He brayed, sniffing his first taste of freedom.
"I know what I'll do. I'll go to the town of Bremen and become a musician. I've always had a wonderful voice."
The donkey hadn't gone very far when he saw a dog lying on the road, howling. "My master says I'm too old to go hunting anymore. Now what will become of me?" The donkey knew exactly how the dog felt, so he invited him to come along too.
"With a fine voice like yours, we can be musicians together."
The dog happily agreed, and off they went towards Bremen. A little further down the road they met a cat with a face as sad as 3 rainy days.
"My mistress sent me away because I'm too old to catch mice. What shall I do now?"
The donkey told the cat she was welcome to come with them.
"With your sweet voice, we'll be the talk of the town."
So off the 3 went towards Bremen. Even further along the road they met a rooster crowing miserably. "I'm so old, the master wants to put me in the soup. What am I going to cock-a-doodle-do?" Naturally, the donkey invited the rooster to join them.
"After all, you have the strongest voice of all of us."
So the 4 animals set off towards Bremen. After travelling all day, night began to fall, and they were still a long way from town. The rooster flew up into a tree and spied a little house hidden in the forest. The animals headed towards it. When they reached the house, the donkey peered through the window. Inside, 3 shadowy figures were feasting in the lamplight. The donkey didn't know it, but the men were robbers, and this was their secret hideout. Sniffing the food, the hungry animals decided it was time to give their very first concert.
"When the men hear our singing, they'll give us a free meal for sure."
The donkey put his front legs on the windowsill. The dog climbed on top of the donkey. The cat climbed on top of the dog, and the rooster climbed on top of the cat. Teetering precariously, they began their performance. Hearing the dreadful din, the robbers thought there was some terrible monster outside. Then the animals started to topple and they fell in through the window. The robbers didn't wait to see who or what was attacking them. They ran for their lives. This wasn't quite the reaction the musicians had been hoping for, that the men had left all their food behind.
"Oh, they must have liked our show. They left all this food for us."
The animals ate until they were bursting. Eventually, feeling wonderfully satisfied, they settled down to the sweetest of sleeps. Meanwhile, out in the cold forest, the robbers were having second thoughts about abandoning their cozy hideout. They decided to send a scout back to see what was happening. "Me? Why me?" "Go on." Nervously, the robber crept back into the dark house. Seeing the cat's eyes glowing beside the fireplace, he thought they were burning coals and tried to light a match on them. But the cat didn't like having her eyes poked and scratched him. The robber jumped back right onto the tail of the dog, which bit him. Staggering sideways, he reached out to steady himself and pulled the donkey's tail. Whack! The donkey kicked him right across the room to the rooster, who screeched in his ear. The startled robber fled as fast as his legs could carry him. When he reached the others, he told them he'd barely escaped with his life. "First a witch scratched me, then a lion bit me, then a monster hit me with a club." The other robbers cringed in fear. Worst of all, though, a horrible red-eyed demon screamed the most terrifying scream I've ever heard. Hearing that, the robbers took off and never returned to the house again. But the animals settled in comfortably and are still living there to this day, practicing their music. They're still hoping to go to Bremen. One day, they might even get there.